Hadn't heard this one in a long time. A beautiful record by Johnny Rivers on Billboard's Hot 100 of May 4th, 1968. Let's go to it right now. Probably one of my favorite Johnny Rivers records. Look to Your Soul at number 50 the week of May 4th, 1968. And some of the big hits off that Hot 100. To put all this in perspective that you might remember. If You Can Wait by Smokey Robinson. That was a nice record by him, but a Lost 45. Dance to the Music by Sly and the Family Stone at number 12, and of course, Percy Sledge, Take Time to Know Her at number 13, up from number 20. Does anybody remember that record? The Ballad of Bonnie and Clyde by Georgie Fame at number 15. Ain't No Way! Sweet, Sweet Soul Music by Aretha Franklin at number 16. And Love Is All Around by the Trogs at number 17, but Song at number 50. God, it's a beautiful record by Johnny Rivers. Look to Your Soul. Just kind of a laid-back hippie recording, and one of my favorite records by Johnny Rivers was Summer Rain. I'll get into Summer Rain in just a minute. A little bit of history on Johnny Rivers that I came across that was pretty fascinating that I just learned. 1958, Johnny Rivers, when I guess, well, obviously before he became big, 1958, Johnny Rivers met James Burton. James Burton, the lead guitarist for Ricky Nelson. Ricky Nelson's sideman back in the 50s. Played all those great Ricky Nelson recordings like Stood Up. Well, anyway, and later, James Burton later became head of Elvis's Taking Care of Business. Taking Care of Business band in Las Vegas. Las Vegas years for Elvis. James Burton, legendary guitar player. But anyway, Burton had recommended to Ricky Nelson a song that Johnny Rivers had written called I'll Make Believe. And Ricky Nelson had recorded that song. Later on now, originally from Louisiana, Johnny Rivers, but he migrated to Los Angeles in the early 60s, became a songwriter, a session musician, but his big break came in 1968. He filled in for a jazz combo at a nightclub in Hollywood. And he was very popular. His show went really well. As a matter of fact, it went so well that he was invited to open, got a one-year contract to open at the legendary Whiskey A Go-Go in Los Angeles, 1964. And impressed a heck of a record producer, a big record producer. Worked with Jan and Dean. He later produced hit records by the Mamas and the Papas, and later produced Tapestry by Carole King, talking about Lou Adler. Lou Adler spotted Johnny Rivers and made a live album, an album of Johnny Rivers live at the Whiskey A Go-Go. As a matter of fact, the album was called Johnny Rivers Live at the Whiskey A Go-Go. Whiskey A Go-Go. That album went to number 12 on Billboard's album charts, and it yielded Memphis, which was top. I think it went to number 2, 1964. And Memphis, gotta talk about Memphis real quick. There was an instrumental by Lonnie Mack that you might remember too, 1964. Might have been a little bit earlier, maybe 63. Well, 63, 64. But here's the deal about Memphis. Elvis had recorded a version of Memphis. Elvis trying to get his rock and roll mojo back during those movie years in the 60s. Elvis played a demo of Memphis to Johnny Rivers. Said, how you like this? Johnny Rivers said, yeah, I like it. Well, Johnny Rivers liked it so much that he recorded it himself, and it became a hit for Johnny Rivers instead of Elvis. I want to tell you something. Particularly Elvis's people were not happy. Johnny Rivers was on the S list as far as Elvis's entourage was concerned. Persona non grata. You can only imagine how upset Elvis was. Well, anyway, it became a hit for Johnny Rivers. Then you had Midnight Special, Mountain of Love. He redid that. Howard Dorman song. And, of course, Secret Agent, man. He did that in 1966. And then you get into Summer Rain, man. Get into that, God, that counterculture, that laid back, just tune out. God, was that a beautiful record. But I read that the song was written by James Hendrick. I always wondered who wrote Summer Rain. Written by James Hendrick. And James Hendrick was a member of the Mugwumps back in the mid-60s. John Sebastian was a member of that group. But anyway, let's go to this record right here. And at number 50 on Billboard's Hot 100. God, it's beautiful record. Just really obscure. It's just very potent, very powerful in its own way. And, oh, the Wrecking Crew played on that album. Hal Blaine played drums. The legendary session drummer Hal Blaine and Joe Osborne, another member of the Wrecking Crew, played on this record, played bass on the entire album. Johnny Rivers supposedly played a guitar on this album as well, on this record as well. And I also read that, I got this from a YouTube comment. You'd be surprised what you learn from these YouTube comments. Legend has it, I think it's true, Darlene Love and the Blossoms sang backup on this record. Man, isn't that amazing? Major talent behind this record. But it was not a big hit, though. Peaked at number 49. That's it. On Billboard's Hot 100 for 7 weeks. Lovely record, though. You got to admit, this is one of his best ones. Johnny Rivers, Look to Your Soul. On Billboard's Hot 100, May 4th, 1968.